Here we are on the eve before the night of the debate, 9 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. Okay, well, not a lot I can do about it. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it won't be completely about Donald Trump. I think many people, including me, would like to know where these candidates stand or how good they are. That said, given this a little bit of thought, the current electoral situation we have in this country today is brought to you by the Democrat Party. It's all intentional. See, I'm not a former federal prosecutor. That's a strength, not a weakness. I'm not a former campaign operative for any campaign, let alone the Bush campaign. That's a strength, not a weakness. I'm not a former failed governor of New Jersey. That's a strength, not a weakness. Or a barely articulate former governor of Arkansas. That's a strength on my part. It's not a weakness. And here's what I see as an old Reagan guy. The Democrat Party has interfered with the Republican primary process. The vast majority of questions to those who seek the presidency, the Republican nomination, are about Trump and the charges against Trump. That's by plan, by the Democrat Party. We're talking about 4 different jurisdictions, 3 different levels of government, local, state, and federal, 3 different Democrat prosecutors in 3 different Democrat cities, horrendous judges in the D.C. courts. We've now figured that out. And that's something that's going to have to be addressed one day. There's no question about it. And so rather than the subject, for the most part, being on the Republican side, and I'm sure in the debate some of the candidates will try and alter that, Biden's disastrous record in every respect, on family and faith, on law and order, on ethics, on securing the border, preventing illicit drugs from crossing the border, and so forth and so on. Inflation, interest rates, mortgage rates. It goes on and on and on. The issue has been, Donald Trump's been indicted again. Nobody's been indicted 4 times before. Nobody's been indicted once. And then you have people saying, well, he brought it on himself, like Bill Barr and others. He brought it on himself, you know. If he had only done this, if he had only done that. This is a guy that was treated like dirt before he even got off that escalator at Trump Tower. So they'll say, well, he brought it on himself. You don't bring tyranny on yourself. What he's done is he's helped expose it. Now, on the Democrat side, the same Democrat Party is doing everything they can to protect Joe Biden. His mob lawyer runs the Department of Justice, or Injustice, as I call it. And they brought back this corrupt rogue prosecutor out of The Hague. He was sent to The Hague. They bring him back out of 1 million lawyers in America. This is the guy they bring in because his resume is perfect. He abuses the law. He violates legal ethics. He leaks like a sieve. Perfect. And he'll also do the party line. Well, Marky's going after Democrats, too. He's only going after certain Democrats. Also went after the Tea Party. I mean, that takes a real set to do that, to go after an entire movement. But they cover up for Biden. The New York Times, the Washington Post, Politico, some of the others, they're starting to show some ankle on this. They're starting to get worried. So they're starting to field leaks from whoever is self-serving out there. Field leaks about Biden, how the thing broke down with Hunter Biden, who was involved in this, who was involved in that. But in the end, they're all for the Democrat, whether it's Biden or an orange juice can or a kumquat. It won't matter. It won't matter. But the Democrat Party has destroyed our electoral system. The Democrat Party has destroyed our justice system, not Trump, the Democrat Party. They've destroyed the impeachment process. And now they're going to do everything they damn well can to protect their boy Biden as long as he's in there. And I get really tired of these long in the tooth, inside the Beltway commentators or those who socialize with them or work with them. No one in particular, just as a group. Keep telling us what to think and how to think when we don't care what they think. See, there was an effort today to try and intimidate me by Mediaite. Andy McCarthy is an old friend. I don't talk to him much anymore. I don't talk to many people much anymore, but there you have it. We've had significant disagreements over the years. I've been involved in conservative movement since I was 13 years old. So I don't always agree with these former federal prosecutors, especially when they're talking politics or foreign policy and so forth. But I don't always agree with them when they're talking about the Constitution either. Most of them, whether they're on CNN or anywhere else, have never really dealt with constitutional issues per se. Oh, due process and, warrants. I'm not talking about that. Much more complicated issues. And everyone's free to speak. I've got no problem with that. But I'm also free to disagree with them. I'm at Westwood One, the biggest syndicator of radio programs in the nation. Westwood One, I'm on iHeart radio stations, perhaps the first biggest, Westwood being the second biggest. Doesn't matter. I criticize my fellow colleagues all the time. And I assume they talk about me. I don't know. I don't listen. But I'm not attacking them personally. I disagree with them personally and publicly. But why shouldn't I be able to speak? So Brother McCarthy, he's in the New York Post. He's online. He wants everybody to know that he's not going to vote for Trump, that Trump cannot win, given the polling that's taking place now. And that if Trump is the nominee, we will get slaughtered and the country will be dead forever. And that's his view. Could it happen? Anything can happen, including that. But I don't think it's particularly helpful when you were a never Trumper in 2015 and you were one of 25 who wrote a piece in the for the National Review and so forth and so on to make declarations and demand that Trump supporters just drop them because you say so. It's not serious. And I went into some of that, and Mediaite says, Mark Levin attacks Fox colleague. You see, America, I believe in free speech. I believe in debate. I believe in engagement. This is who I am. This is UFC of the mind. They don't believe that at Mediaite and Media Matters, the Democrat Party, the rest of the media. They don't believe that. They believe they have one position, and you line up behind it. But when you put your brown shirt on and your black boots on, and you click your heels and you march behind, it's more North Korea than it is, United States. And they want to enforce conformity or silence. So their play is really to Fox management, I assume, that Levin's attacking McCarthy. But they're not going to buy it because that's not what happened. And they could try all they want. They are never going to silence me or intimidate me. If I'm left on a soapbox stand on a corner, that's where I'll be. Unlike them, who would be on that soapbox stand in a corner, but probably naked under a raincoat. That's the left. And by the way, as a footnote, what is it with these guys running for president now who take their shirts off? I mean, Christie has enough sense not to take his shirt off, so I'll give him that. But you got Robert Kennedy Jr., you got Vivek Ramaswamy, What, do they all think they're Vladimir Putin? Honestly, keep your shirts on. Clinton, keep your pants on. Ladies, don't pull the dresses over your head. Just run like a serious candidate. Run like a serious candidate. So I take public positions that are challenged all the time. What the hell's wrong with that? And I want to debate those positions. And I want to engage, friend and foe and everything in between alike. It doesn't matter to me. This is what I've done since I was 13 years old. And so I should stop now because somebody at media, attacking. Is it that? Not attacking at all. I'm strongly disagreeing. And I do think the posting wasn't all that good. But there were no personal attacks. I save those for Marxists. I save those for Chris Christie, people like that, who invite such responses given the way that they speak and attack others. I don't encourage you to go to that site, but when you do, you can see the whole pattern there. They may have one or two rational human beings, and then they have a lot of low IQ subhumans over there who spend their days tracking me, tracking other conservatives, looking for any opportunity. They basically plagiarize what Media Matters does. They go after Fox. I am with Westwood One, Cumulus Westwood One, too. They never say, Cumulus Westwood One host, or they never say, Blaze Media host, or just Mark Levin. It's Fox. Because in the end, that's who the war is actually with. Wouldn't it be refreshing if there were some disagreements on CNN? Publicly? Openly? I don't mean throat cutting. Just lawyers on CNN or hosts on CNN. I don't really agree with that. Doesn't really sound like a serious point to me. What about this? Oh my God! They're attacking each other! Or even better, MSNBC. Scarborough might as well be looking and talking in the mirror. I know he'd rather anyway. Because every host that that he apparently brings on kisses his ass. By the way, on Fox, I have tried to bring on the so-called best and smartest of the left, if there are any. They won't come on. I'm not going to bring on any schlub. Because that's not interesting. It's not substantive. It's not entertaining. In fact, I have no interest. But to bring on, we've tried Raskin? No. We've tried, the list is, we've tried Christie? No. We tried Romney? No. Years ago, I tried McConnell. No. Okay. Who else have we tried? We have tried Elizabeth Warren. No. Schumer. No. I think I said Raskins. No. None of them. Bernie Sanders. No. I even have Republicans that won't come on. Who only come on if they have a book or some issue to hawk. That's going to end. That's going to end right now.